Hey kids, this is Ivan. How you doing? I want to talk about something that I've experienced in the past few days. Something that really drives home, just how mechanics and genre can influence the decisions we make with our characters. Specifically, in this case, mechanics. So, if you've been paying attention, you know that I've just started playing in a play-by-email game of Mythras. Right? It's the Mythos game. We're playing the Mythras rules. We're playing in 1906. It's a Mythos type game. And this is something that RuneSlinger's running. So far, it's been a lot of fun, even though we just play a little bit. We were instructed at the beginning to make some competent characters, so that's what we did. People that were going to be able to handle themselves in 1906. And so I'm playing this guy that, for lack of a better words, is sort of Indiana Jones-ish. He's a field archaeologist. He's somebody that can handle himself out in the wilderness, knows archaeology. And the other characters have made similar type people that are able to handle themselves. They're competent. And one of the funny things that we've been talking about, and I think we kind of independently came to these conclusions, is these characters, the way they've been presented, they would be a lot of fun if we were playing in a different genre. If we were playing something like Hollow Earth Expedition, these would be guys that would just be a hoot to take on a whole bunch of adventures. But that's not what we're planning to do. We're playing a Mythos game. One of the things that I quipped to Anthony about was that it's probably going to make it even more poignant, even more relevant when these characters die or descend into madness, because rather than being some kind of Casper milquetoast, shrinking violet academic, these are tough people. But it'll be interesting to see how they get humbled by the bizarre, the truly cosmic horrors that they may encounter. However, we haven't encountered any cosmic horrors yet. What we've encountered is actual other real people. We are in Shanghai, and we found ourselves, particularly Lee and I, have found ourselves in physical danger. And where we have a bunch of archaeological artifacts that we've freed or liberated from their tomb. We want to go sell to an art dealer, but as we're there, a very large gentleman comes up to us, and it's very clear that he wants these items specifically because they belong to the descendants of the person whose grave we just robbed. And they are gangsters now. So we're in a lot of trouble. Now, so picture this. I've got this big giant guy standing there very politely telling me that we need to, hand stuff over because it would really be regretful if he had to hurt us. Now, I can tell you exactly what I was thinking at that particular point. Just almost like knee-jerk reaction would be, one of the items was this urn, full of the ashes of this actual ancestor. And so if I was playing Hollow Earth Expedition, what I probably would have done at that point, because there were other valuable items in the bag, would be to take that urn out, throw it up in the air, and say catch, and then run for the door. Or maybe try some other kind of fancy bar fight maneuver and see if we could trip him and do whatever. But you get the idea. Something that would be really pulp heroics. Something that would be worthy of Hollow Earth Expedition. Something that would be worthy of Raiders of the Lost Ark. You can hear the music in the background. I could see this scene happening, but that's not what we were playing. And specifically, the mechanics in Mythras, in this D100 game, instruct us, let you know that you can get hurt very, very fast. That it's not the abstract injury system of something like Ubiquity or something like Dungeons & Dragons or, pick another game. These are really concrete injuries that are debilitating. And then if you get stabbed or shot or, punched by a very large man whose, hand could, he could put your head in his hand. That's pretty much how this guy was described to us. You realize that, we're going to get very hurt. This is not going to be a heroic, wonderful, fun chase scene. We could try, but more than likely, our characters, particularly my character, is going to get quite hurt. And so I had to approach it, as we were talking later on about it, as if, what if I was actually there and this was really happening? Not that I'm playing an avatar of myself, but, something like Mythras does a really good job at modeling actual real-world effects and injuries, as opposed to something that's a little bit more abstract and going for more of a pulp heroic feel like Ubiquity, or let's just say OSR D&D. So I had to, the mechanics themselves, inform me, like, how do I want to handle the situation? And not because I'm trying to protect my character at all costs, that's not it. But it's a different genre. It's a different system. The mechanics influence how this is going to feel. And so I found that really, really interesting. I'm very happy with where it's going right now as we're talking to this man, and it seems to be going in a rather entertaining and fun direction anyway. but it's a different kind of fun and entertaining direction. So it's been really interesting already just to see how a different set of mechanics, a different set of consequences, if you will, influences how I play that character. Would I play that character, Zachary Bishop, different if we were playing Hollowworth Expedition? You bet I would. Things would have gone down a little bit differently, but that's not what we're doing. So, just kind of food for thought. Have you ever had something like that happen? What do you think about that?